Hi, I'm Rebecca Mueller, and welcome to Viking News for Thursday, October 25th, 2001. The sports teams are wrapping up successful regular seasons, and most are advancing to state playoffs. The volleyball and cross-country teams will compete this weekend and hope to finish out their season on top. The football team will play their last regular season game Friday night at Highland Park. The soccer team hopes to advance to state next weekend in Wichita. Now, for more information about the cross-country teams, let's go to Andrea Phipps.
The Seaman boys and girls cross-country teams guaranteed themselves a spot in next week's state meet with a third-place finish Saturday in the Class 5A regional at the State Land Cross-Country course. The Seaman girls qualified by finishing third with 93 points. The Vikings were led by Jessica Barron, who placed 10th.
We had regionals this weekend at State Land cross-country course, and we took third, which qualified us for the state meet. We had a really good race out of Allie Johnson. We're going to be running at the state this weekend at Rimrock Farm, where Jessica Barron ought to be one of the top runners there, one of the top 10 maybe. That's what she's shooting for, and we're looking forward to being one of the top teams in the state also this weekend.
The Seaman boys also qualified by finishing third with 95 points, behind Great Bend 40 and Hayes 58. As usual, the Vikings were led by Tyler McQuillan, who covered the 5-kilometer distance in 17 minutes and 12 seconds.
Well, the upcoming state competition will involve Great Bend and Hayes, which we just ran against at our regional meet, and they are ranked number 1 and number 2 in the state this year. We're looking forward to competition. Always our goal at state is to bring home a trophy, which means to be in the top 3 teams. So that's our goal at the state meet this coming weekend.
The Vikings will compete this weekend in the state meet at Rimrock Farm outside of Lawrence. Come out and support the Vikes.
Thanks, Andrea. Good luck to the cross-country team on Saturday as they take on the best runners in the state. Now let's go to football with Scott Wells.
Hi, this is Scott Wells with your Seaman High School football report. With a 35-0 rout of the Shawnee Heights T-Birds last Friday night, the Vikings wrapped up at least a share of the Centennial League title and clinched the district championship as a result of Topeka West's 18-6 win over Highland Park. Seaman, ranked number 2 in 5A, scored on all 4 of its first half possessions, opening up a 28-0 halftime lead en route to a 35-0 district victory to run the Vikings season record to a perfect 8-0 on the season. Seaman was nearly flawless on both sides of the ball in the first half. The Vikes started off strong with a drive of 49 yards and 8 plays. Quarterback Chris Carlson powered in from the 1 for the first score. On its next possession, Seaman drove 68 yards in 9 plays. Colby Kramer finished off the drive by scampering 6 yards off tackle for the second touchdown. 2 yards and 14 plays for the third touchdown on a Kyle Edwards 14-yard run. Adam Schroeder closed out the scoring in the first half with a 1-yard plunge, ending a 28-yard 5-play drive by Seaman.
I think we executed very well. We scored on all our possessions in the first half. We slowed down a little bit in the second half, but that's okay. Defense picked us up for another score, and we're going to take it into playoffs.
Defensively, the Vikings held Shawnee Heights well in check, with city passing leader Trevor Kirkwood going just 2 of 11 in the first half for 20 yards. Seaman finally had to punt on its first possession of the third quarter. On its second possession, the Vikes had a 34-yard field goal attempt by David Applehands blocked. Seaman punted on its third possession, but it didn't matter as the Vikings continued to stifle the T-Birds' offense. The Vikings added a touchdown with 8:35 left in the game when Brandon Adams scooped up an errant pitch on Shawnee Heights' attempted hook and ladder play and ran the ball in 20 yards for a touchdown. Shawnee Heights moved the ball well at times in the second half, but Seaman ended up running its shutout streak to 9 quarters.
Well, we've been playing pretty well right now. We've had 2 shutouts in the first 2 district games, and we're getting after people. We're playing good fundamental defense, and the offense is scoring a lot of points, so it's looking pretty good right now, and we're looking forward to Friday night.
Edwards, a senior, led Seaman with 105 rushing yards on 13 carries, while Carlson passed for 107 yards on a 6 of 9 performance. Seaman will travel to Highland Park on Friday to close out district play. Let's all fill the stands to support the Vikes to a district championship.
Thanks for that report, Scott. The football team has had a fantastic season and have shown that they are the best in the city this year. Another team that has been doing great in the volleyball is the volleyball team. Let's go to Chris McCullough with more.
The Seaman volleyball team qualified last weekend at Shawnee Heights for the state volleyball meet. The Vikings ran their season record to 32-7 by beating Highland Park in the semifinals 15-4, 15-4, and then overcame a slow start against Topeka West to win 9-15, 15-7, 15-3, and win Sub-State A. Seaman already had played West several times in the regular season, and Vikings coach Denise Richardson said that the familiarity might have hurt her team in the early going.
Well, after beating Topeka West all year, we thought, it would be a pretty walk through the park game, but we had to refocus after the first game and push through it because Topeka West was a good team and they had some good girls and stuff, but we refocused it and played really well the second and third game, and the girls played to their potential. We just need to carry over to state now on Friday and Saturday.
Well, we expect to go in there and play really hard. And we're all really looking forward to this because we think we have a really good chance if we perform at our highest level. And it means a lot to the seniors this year, and we want to go out on a good note. And so we're just going to go in there and just play our hearts out and try to lead our team to a state championship.
The 5A state tournament will be played at Landon Arena, beginning with pool play on Friday morning at 9:30. The top two finishers in each pool will advance to the semifinals on Saturday, with the championship and third place matches also being played that day. Everybody better be there to support our Viking ladies.
Thanks, Chris. Here at Seaman High School, seniors are trying to make a difference in the community by helping volunteer. Also, as a requirement to graduate, students must obtain civic activity points by volunteering. Now let's go to Adam Moranz with more.
Ever since the events in New York, everyone has wanted to help out and volunteer. Here at Seaman High School, a program was started several years ago to get students involved and to make them aware of their civic duties. The program was set up on a points basis where students would earn a certain number of points based off the type of volunteer work they did. The points they earned were called civic activity points. Seniors, as an assignment, would have to earn 6 points for regular government class and 12 for AP government.
We hope that students volunteer in order to learn more about their community, to find out that they have activities that they can do to get them involved in the community, and to take some responsibility for making our community a better place. It'll only improve through our efforts, and it only improves through people being involved. If students can have a positive volunteering experience and learn that what they do individually does make a difference, we hope that this would continue into their adult years and they would become active volunteers later on as well.
Some of the ways students in the past have earned civic activity points were to give blood or being a line judge at a volleyball game, participating in club-sponsored events like SAD Car Wash or when Key Club painted the stadium.
Because it helps people who need your help, and it's just a nice thing to do. I've helped at church with Sunday school and Vacation Bible School.
Volunteering is just one of the ways you can earn your civic activity points. Another way to earn points is by attending any civic meetings, such as school board meetings or city council meetings.
Well, it's our hope that students will receive an intrinsic reward, which means that they will feel better about themselves inside, knowing that they were able to help somebody by donating clothing or giving blood or going down to the rescue mission and helping serve dinner to those who are less fortunate. But our other goal is more of a lifelong aim, in which we hope that the student will develop a lifelong desire to help others, that they'll realize that this is something that America has relied upon for a number of years, is volunteerism.
Volunteering makes communities better, and that's why Seaman High School supports it.
Thanks for that report, Adam. Several weeks ago, the Army came out and let students play on their obstacle course. Let's go to Steve DeForest with more.
Thanks. Friday, October 5th, the Topeka Army recruiters brought out an inflatable obstacle course for the students to enjoy. Several hundred students and faculty members made their way through the obstacle course, including our school principal, Dr. Orozco. We asked Sergeant Gowan to tell us a little something about the obstacle course.
It's basically designed to give the students and everybody a chance to see kind of what basic training is a little bit about and everything in a safe manner as well. It's inflatable and everything. Is mainly just bring it out so let the kids have fun on it.
Well, how close of a simulation is this to the original basic training that you guys do?
It's fairly close. It's kind of miniaturized and everything. There's several other obstacles that you'd go through in basic training. There's you either use a 2 or a 3-man team to actually climb a structure without any kind of rope, ladder, or anything. So naturally, we couldn't put something like that on there. You can't. It wouldn't hold the weight of something like that. But for the most part, it's pretty realistic.
How has recruiting changed since the tragedies of September 11th, and how are you going to try to improve it?
The recruiting's changed a little bit. We've had several people walk in and talk to us about the Army and everything. For the most part, the regulations and everything, standards for enlistment haven't changed or nothing like that. I have lots of people ask me, do I think the draft's going to come back in, this and that, and for the most part, things had to get pretty bad for something like that to happen, I think.
Thanks, Sergeant Gowan. We'd also like to thank all the staff members that helped put this together and the Topeka Army Recruiting for letting us enjoy this wonderful experience.
On October 8th, David Adkins announced he was running for Attorney General. Now let's go to Adam Morans with more.
On Monday, former Seaman graduate David Atkins announced his candidacy for Attorney General. Let's take a look. Adkins was introduced by Student Council President Rebecca Mueller.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us here today. We are particularly pleased to have so many members of our community here, as well as students from our school. My name is Rebecca Mueller, and I am the Student Council President here at Seaman. It is my pleasure to introduce you to a state leader that hails from our own Seaman High School. We are pleased David Adkins has chosen to return on this occasion to share with us the news that he is launching his campaign to be the next Attorney General of Kansas. David was a member of the class of 1979. He graduated second in his class with only 1 B recorded on his transcript. That was in PE. He was elected Student Council Vice President and Student Council President. He served as the Kansas Boys State Governor and was a top 10 student in the National Century III Leaders Scholarship Program. He was a regional debate champion, worked in the school bank, was a member of the choir, and appeared in many of the school's drama productions. He was even the public address announcer for Viking football and basketball games. Many of David's fellow students suspected he was actually on the faculty. However, let me be very clear that there is simply no truth to the rumor that he ever threw food in the cafeteria or that he threw a pie in the teacher's face during his years as a student here. At least no truth to those rumors until his permanent record is made public. Even as a student here, David was demonstrating great potential as a leader. His Seaman High educated him, put him on a fast track to success. He graduated with degrees in political science and law from the University of Kansas, where he served as student body president, and he was the first KU student selected to receive a Harry S. Truman Scholarship. After law school, he joined the Prairie Village, Kansas law firm, founded by former Governor Robert Bennett. He was named the Outstanding Young Lawyer in Kansas by the Kansas Bar Association and recently received the Judge Stevens Legal Services Award from Justice Clarence Thomas at the ceremony held at the Supreme Court in Washington. David has served 4 terms in the Kansas House and is now a state senator. During his legislative service, he has emerged as a strong supporter of public education, a passionate advocate for children, and a respected voice on public safety and juvenile justice issues. While all of that sounds important, the only thing you really need to remember is that David said he would come back to Seaman only if he could buy us pizza for lunch. Not a bad political move in my book. David is a proven leader. He reflects the character of Kansas, a character strengthened by many of his experiences here. He has made a difference, and I know that he will continue to be a great source of pride for all of us here, for all of us that share the Seaman tradition. Won't you join me in welcoming the next Attorney General of Kansas, David Adkins.
A graduate of Seaman High School in 1979, Adkins chose to make his Topeka announcement in the Seaman Library.
Well, I think it's really significant that David Adkins has chosen to come to Seaman to announce his candidacy for Attorney General. I think it's a way for him to step back and to come back to his roots a little bit. And also, I think it means that the things that happened to him while he was in high school were significant to him, that this was an important place for him to get started, that something happened here that provided him with a good base to get started in his career with what he's doing today. And I think that Seaman High School has a special place in his heart. I would expect that first of all, the students would feel honored because, this is an important announcement. And I think for them to know that a person that's running for such an important position in our state is choosing to come to Seaman High School to make that known, I think they would have to feel proud and very honored to know that he's going to be here. The other thing is I think that Mr. Adkins is an excellent role model for our students. I mean, I think that he's a very good example of what you can do if you are willing to work hard and you know what it is that you want to achieve.
Watched by students, teachers, and legislative colleagues, Adkins said the recent terrorist attacks have caused a loss of sense of security. Restoring it would take commitment from every citizen.
Citizenship can no longer be enjoyed as a spectator sport. Each of us must engage in our civic duty with renewed zeal.
Adkins pledged to do his part by creating a security task force to ensure problem-free cooperation between law enforcement agencies in an emergency.
To those heroes who fight the war on crime, including every Kansan who wears a badge, to those who prosecute cases in our name, to those who work to build safer families, schools, neighborhoods, and communities, to those who have been victimized, and to those who seek to aid and comfort them as they rebuild their shattered lives, to those who give their time to help improve the life of a child, you will have a tireless advocate, a dedicated partner, and a true friend in me as your Attorney General.
At the end of Adkins' speech, Miss Marilyn Faree was holding a piece of wood she had kept over the years. On it was Dave Adkins' signature, and it also said, "Someday this will be worth something."
There's lots of activities going on here at Seaman High School. Here's more information about them. That's all for today's show. Thanks for watching Viking News, and don't forget that this show will be replayed again on Sunday at 3 o'clock. See you later.